Oy. Look, I know this got announced earlier in the week, and I was thinking, oh, I really don't want to talk about this. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, fine, I'll give it my best here. For those who are unaware, Marvel's doing another relaunch. You know, because Legacy was only 5 months ago, right? And this time around, it's going to be called Marvel Fresh Start. Or actually, that's the tagline going with it. We don't know. Maybe it's like, we don't know the whole Marvel thing. Or, I don't know, Marvel. How about you just call it Marvel? I don't know. But yeah, this Fresh Start means a whole line of new #1s. Like I said, wasn't Legacy only 5 months ago when you released all these new #1s? And by #1s, I mean, like, just renumbers to original numbering comics. Wasn't that just a few months ago? And I know this is coming out in May. Oh boy! Just in time for Infinity War! Yeah. Anywho, so, what do I think of this? First, and I can't be the only one, because now it's getting really ridiculous at Marvel. These renumberings are getting really ridiculous. Like I said, I've been saying, Legacy was just made 5 months ago, and you said that was going to be the last one. And then this happens. Now, it's kind of asinine, really. It's like, remember when the first relaunch happened, and we were all thinking, oh, Marvel now, that's so cool. It was like having the old guy dancing around in those Six Flags commercials. Remember that? Yeah, it was like that at the beginning. But now the old man, instead of dancing around, he's yelling at people and throwing his semen everywhere. It's gross. That's what it's become, Marvel, with these relaunches. But because that's what it's become. It's kind of become asinine, where you have to make a big stink about all these new things. And I understand that, when you did that transition to Axel Alonso to the new guy, CB, I can't pronounce the last name, but what I do know is that he pretended to be a Japanese man. Yeah, that's not a great, not a great start here. He pretended to be he pretended to be Japanese for some reason. I don't know why, but I was like, that's not cool. But I don't know, really. It's now, on one hand, I know I've been shitting on this for a little while, but let me throw this out. Let me throw out this saving grace that's made me go, okay, that might be cool to your next relaunch in 3 months. That of course being that we are getting some new titles and some new writers. A few have already been announced. You've got a new writer for Black Panther, which is going to be T'Challa and his people of Wakanda going out into space. Awesome. Space Wakandan story. That's awesome. You've also got Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness doing an Avengers team, which actually feels like an Avengers team. I mean, Mark Waid's run was pretty cool, but now it's nice to have Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America back on the team, and it's kind of cool to see, Black Panther on a team again, to see Carol there. It feels more like an Avengers team. Not to discredit Mark Waid's team, but it just felt more like an Avengers West Coast team, at least to me. But yeah, this feels like, and also what I find interesting is you have Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider there, which I'm like, okay. I mean, Doctor Strange, I can see why he's there, because yeah, he's been a part of the Avengers before. But the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider makes me go, huh, that's the wild card right there. You've also got She-Hulk in here. Yeah, it feels like an Avengers team, Ghost Rider, I'm like, okay, why are you here? But it might be cool to see where they go with that character, especially, some conflict. I'd love to see, like, the other characters, like, yeah, you're kind of a wild card here, buddy. And we've also got other news that, and actually we've known about this, is that Dan Slott is going off to write Iron Man, and he's officially ending his run on Spider-Man. On one hand, the guy has, give him credit. He's been almost writing, Spider-Man for over a decade. And considering how much musical chairs are with comic books these days, in both Marvel and DC, you gotta give the guy credit. Having said that, though, bye, Dan. Won't miss you. Don't think it was a slice of heaven, because it wasn't. Look, there are some things in Dan Slott's run I like. Like I said, I really dug Spider Island and some of the stuff after, but yeah, it just has not been great. I think he's kind of burnt out on Spider-Man, and I think it's time for him to go. Now, they haven't announced who will be writing Spider-Man. I'm personally backing for Christos Gage. I'm really hoping it's going to be Christos Gage, unless they've announced something already as of this recording, I don't know who is who's going to be writing Spider-Man. So keep that in mind, that I don't know as of this recording who they've announced, because like I said, Dan Slott's going to be writing Iron Man, which might be interesting. I mean, outside of his Spider-Man stuff, Dan Slott's actually a pretty cool writer. I mean, if you think Dan Slott's still a bad writer, go and check out his Silver Surfer stuff. It's actually pretty fun. It feels like he really wants to write Doctor Who without being at Titan Comics. So maybe he just needs a breath of fresh air, and Iron Man can give him that. So I don't know who they're going to have. Could be Wade. Could be easily Mark Waid, but I'm backing for Christos Gage. He hasn't really had a Spider-Man run, but some of the stuff he did with the comics Spider-Man and X-Men and Spider-Man Fantastic Four, those miniseries, which I suggest you guys all check those out. Those are really cool. It really shows that dude knows how to write Spider-Man. So yeah, I personally would like to see Christos Gage in there. And I know they've announced a few other small titles, and also they've talked about how a lot of these are going to be #1s, and a lot of them are going to stay the same. But Marvel, the fact that you're doing another giant relaunch event type deal is burning us out. You said Legacy was going to be the last one for a while, and then this happens. Now I understand that there's this sudden changing of the guard with Alonso stepping down, and now the new guy, again, can't pronounce his last name, so I apologize for that. But, yeah. And also, with Bendis over at DC now, writing Superman, which I'm kind of like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'll give it a shot. I will get it. But I'm not hot on the idea that he's going to be writing Superman and Action Comics exclusively. Could you give someone else to write Superman, please? Anywho, where was I going with this? But yeah, that's the thing here, Marvel, is that you have really been, burning readers out on the idea of just consistently renumbering things. You know how hard it is to get new readers, and how I've tried to explain to several of my friends who aren't comic book readers, okay, this is a #1, and then here's that run, and then it restarts in this story as a #1, but it's not really a #1, it's just a continuation of this story. And you've done this so consistently in, a matter of months with these comics, instead of like before where you could just switch writers and keep going with the story. It has to feel like something different nowadays, which Legacy you said was going to stop that. And to some extent it has stopped. But with this, it just feels like you're going back to, what you do best, is get those giant sales for those first issues, and then everyone drops off. And that's the problem. I mean, look at DC. I mean, DC's still rocking Rebirth, and you could argue, but what about all those new #1s with, Damage and the Signal and all that? That's because the reason why those are #1s is because a lot of those characters are new or new teams. So they're bringing in fresh blood after a year or two of Rebirth, and Rebirth is still going. Granted, they are going to do some renumbers with, like I said, with Bendis. I think Action Comics is still going on after 1000, but they are renumbering Superman, which I'm not hot on. So that's my one gripe, is that they're renumbering Superman with Bendis on there instead of, continuing on where Jurgens left off in terms of numbering. And yeah, I know a lot of people saying, oh, with Bendis gone, Marvel's lost a heavy hitter. Yeah, Bendis was burned out. Did you not read Civil War 2? And the other thing is that, again, like, just because they lost Bendis doesn't mean they're, you know, loss of talent. I mean, they've still got Jason Aaron, who's, like, become their new heavy hitter. You've also got, you know, Cullen Bunn, who's their other big guy. They've still got Mark Waid. And the other thing I will give Marvel consistently is that they always look for new writers. They always look for new writers, and a lot of these guys you're going to be seeing, coming out, like, the new writer for Runaways and all of them. They're going to be, you know, some big names very soon. I got a gut feeling on that. So, I don't know, but again, it's just exhausting. That's all I'm saying, is that this process has become so goddamn exhausting to read, you know, it's still intimidating to new readers, and it's exhausting to old readers. That's the big problem we're looking at here. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. So, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Marvel Fresh Start, or whatever the flying fuck they're going to call this? Just comment below, let me know. Who are you guys interested in all of this? Are you going to pick up, you know, Jason Aaron's Avengers or whatever titles are going to come out? Are you know, who are you also hoping to write Spider-Man? Like I said, I'm back in Christos Gage, but I'd be fine. Also, I heard this weird-ass rumor, and I don't know how true this is. It's probably not even true, knowing how busy this dude is. But I heard this weird-ass rumor that Alex Hirsch might be the new writer of Spider-Man. Alex Hirsch being the creator of Gravity Falls. And I was like, that is so outlandishly, like, not gonna happen. But I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'll just throw out that crazy rumor because it's so goddamn insane. Wouldn't it be hilarious, right? But yeah, like I said, comment below, let me know, what do you guys think of all of this? Are you exhausted? Just all that good stuff. Once again, hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'm out.